Hey everyone, greetings from Southern California. I'm the legend, joined by my wonderful girlfriend Molly. Today we're at Six Flags Magic Mountain. I'm going to show you all around the park with the most roller coasters in the entire world. 19 roller coasters, including some very loud ones, as you can tell. Let's go check out Six Flags Magic Mountain. So let's kick off the tour of Six Flags Magic Mountain here at the park's newest ride, West Coast Racers, a roller coaster that just opened about a month and a half ago when we're filming this, and it is really, really fun. It is a Mobius coaster, so you go around both tracks once, and it's launched. You got one launch there at the start, then you go through another launch you can't see here behind this building. It's sort of like a boost launch before it sends you into these inversions. And unlike Twisted Colossus, every time you duel and you double duel, and the visuals you get on these awesome, race car themed ride vehicles is just wonderful. I think this is a huge win for Six Flags Magic Mountain. Not the most intense ride, but it is a lot of fun. I love any ride that has like racing or dueling elements. I will say the right after launch, that high five element, you get really good airtime, and it's intense and it's weird. Especially on the white track, I feel like. Yeah, and if you're on that outside seat too, you're gonna get a little bit more. And then also they took this old area of the park that I think was Cyclone Bay, and they fixed it up so much. I mean, this was like one of the worst sections of Six Flags Magic Mountain, and now it's pretty nice. You know, it feels new and clean, and man, this must have been an insanely expensive project for them. Very expensive. To build this double-tracked roller coaster. Oh, the refurbished land. The cars look amazing. Yeah, like some of the coolest coaster trains you'll see. And I think it's a big, big win for Six Flags Magic Mountain. I'd say probably not one of the three best roller coasters in the park, but it's a big win. Also more family friendly because there's only like 2 inversions on each side. But man, I give it a big thumbs up, and it's a long ride. I love that you do both courses. And in between, there's like a pit stop with like the West Coast Customs guy is on a screen, and he talks to you about like, get ready for your next race. They'll fix up your car now. So big win here. There's nobody here today, so we got to ride twice. We were in the front row, we were in the back row, there was no line. I'm having a good time here at Magic Mountain so far, and this the new edition definitely helped. Big thumbs up from me. So I have a background in engineering, and just look at all this like track and support work here in the spaghetti bowl section. Like between running 2 tracks and like California earthquake codes, and the fact that this part is getting built over a go-kart track, like that's some crazy design there. So one thing you don't normally see at Six Flags that they have here at West Coast Racers is theming. The queue area for West Coast Racers got some theming to it. The car and the dude talks to you from West Coast Racers, and the video showing off the paint and fabrication department. Snazzy. This ride here, this is Tatsu, the park's flying roller coaster, and I like this ride a lot. It is, you're so high off the ground in some of these parts, like you're good, because it's built on top of the mountain and then there's a giant lift. So it's some of the parts of this ride, you're 200 feet in the air. And the views you get as you soar over this mountain. First of all, you get this giant pretzel loop as well. It's very, very intense. Then this turn at the end over here, you're like soaring over the entrance plaza. And if you just look at some of these supports, how high up you are. And this is like the final breakout of the ride. This ride must have been insanely expensive. Now, Molly, you are not a fan.
I don't like flying coasters much, and how high up it gives me anxiety. However, it's probably the best flying coaster.
Yeah, I think it's the best flying coaster as well.
The views are amazing.
Kind of hurt my balls a little bit.
No, just my anxiety.
Yeah, well, we both had issues, but I enjoyed it. Here you can see Gold Rusher, the park's classic mine train roller coaster, as well as Full Throttle, going through that giant loop. A lot of hang time on that loop, holy cow. And then Full Throttle is going to go over here. Then Full Throttle does something cool, it kind of stops there. It's going to launch you backwards before it launches you forwards. One of the first coasters to ever do that, I believe. It's something Premier Rides now does all the time with their Skyrocket 2 models. So there you can see going backwards, then it's going to go forwards and launch on top of this big giant loop here. And you get some really, really awesome awesome airtime, and then you go right into the brakes. Full throttle, I like the ride, but I really wish it would have had another 1,000 feet of track. Gold Rusher, it's an old mine train. Kind of cool, it's built into the mountain.
Yeah, it's a very long ride.
Yeah, pretty good size, length ride. A little rough, and
Yeah.
it's old age here, but also good ride for kids. Not a lot of roller coasters for kids here. So there goes Superman Escape from Krypton, which is a weird roller coaster. When it first opened, it was the world's tallest and world's fastest roller coaster, going at 400 feet in the air, 100 miles an hour. It's weird, it's kind of interesting. This guy gets to go on a lot of different roller coasters. I like anything that's different, and this definitely qualifies as that. So I give it a thumbs up. I wouldn't wait a particularly long time for it, but it's definitely, you know, something wild. Couple things I want to show off in this shot here. First, you can see how awesome the station is, and then you can also see the Lex Luthor Drop of Doom, which in my opinion, one of the scariest rides in the entire world. You can see the Superman going up, and then you can see the drop tower on the side, and man, that is a scary, scary ride. That drop tower, because the tower is so tall, it sways a little bit with the wind and with the ride. And it's like the most unnerving thing when you're up there. So for me, honestly, it's one of the Lex Luthor, one of the scariest rides in the world. Also, plus for Superman Escape from Krypton here, cool queue, and it's air conditioned. Not a lot of rides can say that here at Magic Mountain. Now I'm going to talk about 3 coasters in one here. The first one about to drop off the lift is Goliath, the park's big hyper coaster. Very tall, like 255-foot drop. But it's kind of just an okay ride. It got good speed, but not really. It doesn't really do airtime very well. Now, what does do airtime very well is what's dropping off the lift now. Twisted Colossus, in my opinion, one of the best roller coasters in the entire world. I would say for me, it's probably my 3rd favorite steel roller coaster, and it is fantastic. You go on both paths. There's unfortunately, it's not set to dual, and that is sad. And then over here, farther along in the parking lot, is Scream. B&M floorless coaster. And here's the Magic Mountain bus. Some of the, you can take a bus if you parked really far away. Scream's really nothing to write home about kind of ride. Not great, not bad. And it's like straight up in the parking lot. They just took over part of the parking lot, put the roller coaster there. But Twisted Colossus. Fantastic. All right, and here's Apocalypse, the park's only wooden roller coaster. It's built by the guys over at GCI back during, I think it was back during Adam's reign in the company. And it's got a very weird twisting first drop there. It's gonna come flying right past it. And the ride, it's running really, really well. Pretty solid layout, long ride, got 2 different tunnels on it. It also has a station flyby. I give it a big thumbs up. I was pretty impressed with how well this one was running. Also with Apocalypse, like when it was Terminator Salvation, it had pre-shows and stuff. So you can still walk through. Obviously they don't do any pre-show stuff now, but kind of weird to walk through. Big red roller coaster here is Ninja. One of the few aero suspended coasters that are out there. And it's a lot of fun. Built onto a mountainside. When this log flume attraction is running too, it goes heavily over water. The ride cars do swing from side to side, so that's always a good time. I like these rides a lot. One of the more family-friendly attractions here at Six Flags Magic Mountain, and also one of the few attractions that you board on top of the mountain itself. Dropping off the lift now, this big green and yellow roller coaster, Riddler's Revenge, the park's stand-up roller coaster. Really, really loud stand-up roller coaster. And I know stand-up roller coasters are not normally someone's favorite, but I really like Riddler's Revenge. I would say it's one of the 3 stand-up coasters I tend to enjoy, along with Green Lantern and Great Adventure, as well as Georgia Scorcher. And it's pretty smooth. I bonked my head once. Big, long ride. And I like some of the weird theming touches, like Justice. In this building here, you'll find the park's dark ride, Justice League Battle for Metropolis. I love this ride. It's an interactive shooting dark ride. It has all sorts of, like, from practical sets to 3D screens. And if you've been on other Justice Leagues at Six Flags Park, this is sort of a supersized version. So there's more animatronics, floor-to-ceiling curved screens. So I really like it. For me, actually, this ride is my favorite shooting dark ride. So I like this better than Men in Black or Toy Story Mania, Buzz Lightyear, any of those. I do prefer this. That's my favorite. And I love that there's a dark ride of this quality at Six Flags. Now coming at you from possibly the craziest ride in the park, this is X2. You ride on the outside of the ride vehicle, and these people are getting ready to go 200 feet straight down, looking straight down. Only ride like it in this country. It is wild. It's true adrenaline rush. Like, it's one of those few roller coasters that actually kind of scares me. You can see the train coming in now. I will say, running a little rough. But this thing, it is just absolutely wild. It's one of these rides I can't recommend highly enough, just because it is so different and gives you the crazy sensations. Also, Molly, it's your least favorite coaster at the park?
Yeah, because you feel insecure, and I don't like the spinning aspect. Like, I can't do two things at once. It just freaks me out.
It freaks me out too, but I guess in a good way.
I mean, it impresses me.
Yeah.
Like, to watch it, it's very impressive to watch.
Quick look at the station here for X2. I love, like, the video that plays. And these trains are really weird. Like, you don't feel super secure, and they're really unlike any other roller coaster out there. I know there's like 3 other models that do this kind of thing, and the other 2 are in Asia. But it's really wild. The whole thing runs on a gear system. Like, there's a 4th rail, and you see that pillar there, that goes up and down, and that rotates your track. So, like, it's a really technological marvel, this ride. This big giant ride here is Crazanity, a spinning pendulum ride. Unfortunately, it's closed right now. And Molly, you know why it's closed, don't you?
Yeah, the person.
We just got off the ride, and you didn't have the best experience, did you?
The person next to me decided to throw up, and it landed all over me.
Yep, and all over her. There was like multiple. The vomit was. It was a remarkably large amount of vomit.
There was 3 seats in between us, I should say.
Yeah, it was
like 3 empty seats between us.
A colossal explosion of vomit.
Yes.
I thought the ride was super fun. I also didn't get puked on.
It's a fun tip. Don't sit anywhere near anyone.
Yes, especially somebody that looks ill.
She didn't look ill.
Gonna take you all on a walk through the DC Universe area of the park. Home to, I guess they got superhero themed rides kind of everywhere. But here's where a lot of them are located. I love that they still have their Batmobile. Classic, like, 90s Batmobile, too. You've got the Wonder Woman Lasso of Truth ride here, which is our traditional roundup style ride. The Flash Speed Force, which looks like a Himalaya. Little, like, I guess those are just like storefronts, like there's nothing in there. Yeah, take a picture. Maybe they do like character meet and greets over there sometimes. There's the fastest Himalaya ride. Of course, when I think about the Teen Titans, I think about pizza.
Truth, justice, and pizza. Absolutely.
Truth, justice, and pizza. Yeah, it goes right together. Now, over here is very interesting. They still have the sign and the entrance and everything for Green Lantern First Flight, even though the ride has been removed and has been sent to Montreal.
Poor Montreal.
Yeah, poor Montreal is right. I'm wondering if they're just like, well, it's our superhero area, and like it still looks okay. Let's just keep it.
Yeah, no one would know.
Yeah, like that's interesting. Interesting approach there. That was a very bad ride. That was not good at all. And unfortunately, the ride is closed, as it says on the sign.
Imagine that.
Who would have thought? And then at the back of this area is Batman the Ride, the inverted coaster. It's one you see a lot of Six Flags Park, but it's a good ride. Very solid ride. Going through the loop right there. It's probably the park's most classic roller coaster, and that is Revolution. Of course, famously in the movie Roller Coaster, as well as National Lampoon's Vacation, among others. Really fun ride. Good. I always think that sort of rides like this are like a perfect first looping roller coaster for kids. And it's a good long ride too. It uses the mountain. They got rid of some terrible trains that used to be on it a couple of years ago, and it's running pretty good. We're visiting Six Flags Magic Mountain in February. It's a little chilly today. It's like in the high 60s, low 70s. So all of the water rides are closed. There are 3 water rides at the park. The first being the Roaring Rapids here, which is your big traditional river rapid style attraction. But it's closed. Right here you can see the second of the 2 closed water rides in the park. This one is Jetstream, the park's log flume attraction. My favorite out of the 3 water rides in the park. This one, it's one of the neat log flumes where you're in like the boats and then you kind of skip across the water so you don't get really wet, and it's fun. Also built into the mountain right around Ninja. The third and final closed water ride here is Tidal Wave. And this one is actually rumored to be on the chopping block. A lot of parks are getting rid of these attractions. You're boarding a giant boat with like 20 to 25 people. You come down that chute there, and just big giant splash. A lot of parks are removing these style rides, and this one's rumored to be going sometime in the next couple of years. A rumor has it they'll get a Max Super Splash, similar to Pulsar at Wallaby, Belgium. Like Six Flags is also, they're building one in over Texas this year. So those are really, really fun rides. Hopefully that rumor is true. So this very pretty looking red roller coaster is Viper. I'm not a big fan of these old aero looping roller coasters. I know there are people that are. I know a lot of people were sad when Vortex closed. I was not. Actually gonna skip Viper today on this trip. So I'm not one of those carousel people, but it's kind of a weird carousel. Big carousel right in the front of the park. But like, look at that bench. And there's like, this horse doesn't really have a saddle painted on it. A little different. This next section, we're going to show off the kids area of Six Flags Magic Mountain. First, you got Whistle Stop Park, which is home to the Magic Flyer, the kids roller coaster, as well as a little kids train kind of thing. And then the rest of the area is themed towards Bugs Bunny World. While Six Flags Magic Mountain is the home of more roller coasters than anyone on the planet, I believe it's also home to more kids roller coasters than anyone on the planet. Because you have the Magic Flyer over there. I think they have like 3 or 4. Like, they have a ton of little kids roller coasters. Kind of helps pad that roller coaster count. You can see one of them dead ahead of us. That is the Roadrunner Express. I think it's the largest of them. You're in little shoes. And it's themed to Wile E. Coyote, as you can see him right over there. There's also, oh, that's an adorable ride. You see the Tweety Bird one?
Yes, it is.
The little cages?
Yes, that's really cute.
Moving along, this area does have some like fun photo op-y kind of things. Like you could get your picture taken in a shower. That's different. Got an interesting fountain here with Bugs Bunny on it. You do have the third kids roller coaster over there. It's Speedy Gonzales Hot Rod Racers.
Hot dog?
Hot Dog Racers.
Hot dog?
Hot dog. Be a weird theme.
Very weird.
Oh, I'm sorry, Molly. There are currently no performances today. What must be quite the show, the Daffy Duck dance off.
Kind of sad.
Yeah, that would be a thing. Yeah. All right, we got a little kids carousel. Little kids balloon ride, little kids plane ride.
That's cute.
It's got a Yosemite Sam on the plane ride. We'll say I think they could probably use a little refresh here in the kids area. Probably some modern kids rides. You have a frog hopper over there. Pepe Le Pew ride, and you get Canyon Blaster, yet another kids roller coaster. So yeah, there's 4 little kid roller coasters here.
That's a bunch.
That's a lot. But it does kind of make sense if you have that many for adults, have that many for kids. If roller coasters are your thing. I like the big foot trucks here. That's a pretty cool kids ride. Ooh, Bugs Bunny's Burrow. Gotta go in there. Okay. Very dark in Bugs Bunny's burrow. He's got a chair and a fridge.
And a table.
And a table. Large fridge for a bunny.
Yeah. Lots of carrots. Have you seen these carrots?
They're pretty large. You got a big indoor playground here. These are always fun with the foam balls and slides and stuff like that. If you have kids, they can spend a lot of time in there. Then I believe the final ride here in the kids area is Daffy Duck's Adventure Tours. And that is the kids section of the park. Over here by Justice League, you do have a couple of traditional theme park staples and flat rides. You've got a scrambler and then some bumper cars. One thing that's a bit of a bummer today, the helpful Honda Express is not running. This is the park's funicular ride that it doesn't do anything. It's just a train ride that goes up and down the big mountain in the front of the park. And it's nice because you can take this, there's never really a line, and it beats walking up the hill. At the top of the hill is where you get on Ninja and Superman. You got sort of a weird pirate themed area here with a pirate ship, swinging ship, and then a swing ride. Definitely feels like an older section of Magic Mountain. So Six Flags Magic Mountain recently, they've been going through and adding new rides and fixing up old sections of the park. Really think the next section of the park they need to fix up is the top of the mountain here, the Samurai Summit. You've got this big observation tower, but I think it's been closed for like 10 years or so. I will say it's still like well kept up here, like for a Six Flags park with this kind of landscaping. Pretty nice, but you got like a lot of closed restaurants that I think they use for haunt now. And it's just a very empty area up here, and it's a, kind of a hike to get up here, especially when the helpful Honda Express is down. Just talking a little bit more about that top of the mountain area, like when was the last time the Laughing Dragon Pizza Company operated? Then there's another large building up there. I believe they used that one for a haunt. But man, I would love to see them, get rid of this old pizza building, and they're at the top of the mountain already. I would love to see them. Six Flags builds a lot of those like 400-foot star flyers. Like put one of those up here on the top of the mountain, it'd be amazing. We're visiting in February, so the Six Flags Hurricane Harbor Water Park is not open. But if you're coming during the warmer months, be sure to bring your supplies, as it is pretty solid water park. We do have a full tour and review of it on the channel by our self-appointed water parks correspondent Ranger, and that link will be in the description below. But if you want to see what that water park's like, it did a really good job showing off all the slides. I absolutely love this Midway game. It's just a rollerball, but it's themed to Mario Kart. So you've got all of your Mario Kart characters, and you get to pick which one you want to be. And then all the prizes are like Super Nintendo.
Go 8.
You go Toad?
Yeah.
I would normally be Wario, but I love the prizes, like weird stuff too, like Bullet Bill and Bomb Bomb and Shy Guy, and it's pretty cool. Wonderfully creative Midway game here. Catapoop, where you fling poop into the toilet. Gotta love the entrance sign here for Goliath. Possibly the best entrance on any roller coaster out there. And actually, I think roller coaster entrances and signs are something the park does really well. Here's a couple of my favorites throughout the day. What time is it?
Beer 30.
Beer 30, yeah. We're here over by Justice League. They have a nice pub. A really good draft beer selection. Like, check this out, guys. Stone Tangerine IPA, Golden Road Mango Cart, Stella. They've also got Elysian Space Dust Lagunitas. Interesting snacks, too. Garlic fries, cheese curds, weird stuff. Like, stuff I would not expect to see at Six Flags, like that chicharron nachos. And then they got a really good bottled beer selection as well. Now that's the good. The bad, one, it's beer gel, so you gotta sort of stay in this area. Two, this beer was $13. $13. It's good though.
It is good.
Over by Full Throttle, they have the Full Throttle Sports Bar, which is a full-service food establishment with waiter service and that kind of thing, and beer. So if you want to kind of sit down and relax, good place to do so. Now this is just a weird ad. What on earth does break the cheese barrier mean? Molly, you're an expert in the world of cheese. What does that mean?
Very intense cheese.
Very intense cheese. I do love the product placement here with the M&M themed stairs. Like that's a cool advertising ploy. So Molly, I'm guessing if Harry Potter lived at Six Flags Magic Mountain, he'd probably live in this thing?
Yeah, the cupboard under top seat.
Of course, with West Coast Racers being the new ride, there's lots of merchandise to go along with it. And pretty decent merchandise too, like the picture frame is fantastic. Also, like they got some pretty nice mugs and cups. They do have a lot of not only West Coast Racers kind of merchandise, but also West Coast Customs Six Flags merchandise as well. Also, as a big coaster dork, they have Coaster Dynamics nano coasters for a couple of the rides. They don't have one for the new ride, but they do have Goliath, Full Throttle, X2. I do like some of this stuff, like the California State Flag, Six Flags kind of merchandise. Got more West Coast Racers Magic Mountain shirts. Oh, they do have one for West Coast Racers.
They do.
Look at that. Let's see what this looks like. That's pretty cool. Fun fact about these, Ranger is currently driving across the country, and he needed to, I think he duct taped these to his dashboard because he didn't know how else to transfer them.
Fun fact, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's driving from Texas to Minnesota with those duct taped to his dashboard.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's kind of coaster nerd.
That is a very coaster nerd thing to do. Yeah, the merch for the
That's
new
a really
ride.
nice cup.
Yeah, pretty nice in here. All right, Molly, this might be the weirdest piece of merchandise in the store. Mermaid Water Six Flags tumbler.
Makes sense to me.
All
If
right.
you like mermaids, there's probably mermaids.
Mermaid fans?
Yeah.
You love mermaids and Six Flags and
Absolutely.
bizarre water bottles. $10. Checking out some of the merchandise here in the main gift shop. I love the picture frames. Tatsu and Goliath. I also love like the Goliath coffee mug is like Goliath sized. They also got some cool Goliath pint glasses as well. Like, that's neat. Coffee mugs for the new Revolution. Series of pint glasses for X2 and Full Throttle. Got some Six Flags Magic Mountain mugs and shot glasses. Could definitely see why these are on the clearance rack. That's pretty weird. It's like a test tube shot glass in a ceramic t-shirt. Now, one place where unfortunately Six Flags does not excel is food. Food prices are very, very high. Food quality is okay to bad. Like this order of fries, tasty, but $6. So one pro tip, there's Six Flags Magic Mountain. If you don't have like a dining plan with your annual pass, food in the park's very expensive and not great. So we go to Jimmy Dean's right here. I think it's a local chain or like it's a one-off, but food's really good. And not too far from the park, obviously. It's golden hour here, and it's time for us to head on out from Six Flags Magic Mountain. Man, I had a great day. There was nobody at this park. We didn't wait for a single ride. Rode a ton of them in the front row. The park is in really good shape. Like I came here a couple years ago on a weekday. We were here on Friday, the 7th in February. So it's a weekday, school's in session, but every roller coaster was open, really well staffed too. Most of the roller coasters were running with 4 or 5 operators. Pretty much every ride in the park was open, sans the water rides and maybe 1 or 2 flat rides. But the park's in great shape. It's very clean. And it's really good. It's kind of baffling to see a Six Flags park in this good a shape.
Yeah,
it's not what you're used to.
And the staff was friendly too.
Staff was friendly. And I think the improvements they've been made since the last time I've been here, like I really like Crazy-anity. I didn't get puked on.
Yeah, my day kind of
Took a tumble,
after that.
West Coast Racers is a blast. It's a really fun ride. Really rejuvenated that section. You know, this park's always been my second favorite Six Flags. I think it's still my second favorite Six Flags. But you know, it's really, really strong and
wonderful collection of coasters.
Yes, so I mean, you just ride roller coasters all day long. Buy a $13 beer, get vomited on, all sorts of stuff.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
It's not fun. I don't recommend that.
Nope, but that'll do it for our time here. If you're going to Six Flags Magic Mountain, if you got any questions, let me know. After today's visit, I can't recommend coming in the off-season enough, because I mean, we just had a blast here. One of the best days I've ever had at any Six Flags. So guys, thank you for watching. See you later.